Auspicious greetings. On behalf of the Foguangshan Chung Tian Buddhist Temple, Buddha's Light International Association of Queensland, and the Chung Tian Chinese School, I would like to welcome everyone to the 2020 Buddha Birthday Festival on air. Due to the current COVID-19 health restrictions, the Buddha birthday celebrations are streaming live today from the Chung Tian Temple. In 1997, under the vision of Venerable Master Xingyun, founder of the Foguangshan Buddhist Order, the festival began in the South Bank Parklands. My sincerest thanks to Abbess Man Wang, venerables of Chung Tian Temple, and members of BLIAQ for their support. I also wish to acknowledge Brisbane City Council, Multicultural Affairs Queensland, YFG Shopping Centres, and the other sponsors of the festival. Over the past 23 years, the festival has embraced education, culture, charitable works, and the purification of human hearts and minds through Buddhist practice. All of this will be featured today, finishing with a traditional Buddhist Mother's Day chanting service. From the safety of your home, we wish for everyone to enjoy the event, and please share the joy with your family and friends. Ami Tofo.
I'm Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner. Brisbane is such a thriving multicultural city, and the Buddha Birthday Festival is one of our biggest annual celebrations. But sadly, like many other events, this year's celebration has been impacted by the coronavirus restrictions. Every year, Buddha's birthday helps to promote peace and harmony in our city, something that is now more important than ever. And I particularly want to thank the Chung Tian Temple and the Buddha's Light International Association for organising today's special live stream event. Since 1997, the Buddha Birthday Festival has attracted millions of visitors. And while we can't celebrate in person, we are united in spirit. And I'm confident we will be able to celebrate again next year as a stronger, more united community once this pandemic passes.
The Buddha Birthday Festival has become a signature event in Queensland, attracting more than 200,000 people to the South Bank last year. From South Bank to this year's celebrations in cyberspace, I'd like to acknowledge the work done to make this event happen. In particular, the organisers, Chung Tian Buddhist Temple Abbess, the Venerable Man Wang, and Buddha's Light International Association of Queensland President Arthur Liu. I'd also like to say thanks to the hundreds of volunteers, performers, contractors and stall holders who have either been part of this online project or who have accommodated the enforced changes. For me, this festival is usually a bustling, joyous celebration on the banks of the Brisbane River. This year, I'll have the chance to truly be in the peace and harmony that the day promotes. My hope for everyone in these strange times is for a safe and harmonious 2020. Thank you.
On this auspicious occasion, I will express my gratitude to Venerable Man Wang, Abbess of Chung Tian Temple, and Mr. Arthur Liu, President of Buddha's Light International Association of Queensland, for organizing the celebration of Buddha's birthday. It is a celebration for everyone, regardless of age, gender, race, religious or cultural background. It showcases that diversity of Australia's multicultural society. Multicultural lifestyle will bring us together to fight against the COVID-19. Love and peace will triumph over hatred and ignorance. On behalf of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Brisbane, I wish each and every one of you a very happy and healthy Buddha's Day. Thank you.
各位护法居士，大家吉祥。我们今天庆祝佛诞节，2020年中天市庆祝佛诞节浴佛法会即将开始。现在为大家讲解程序。 首先呢，我们迎请法师入席，问讯后五相赞，南无本师释迦牟尼佛3遍，心经1遍，摩诃般若波罗蜜多3遍，赞佛偈，称念南无本师释迦牟尼佛圣号，祈愿文。恭读星云大师佛诞节祈愿文。佛宝赞住持开示后呢，浴佛祭法师会带领大众浴佛，法会圆满。现在请大家合掌，迎请法师入席。
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Fo-Guang-Shan Chung Tian Temple and the Buddhist Light International Association of Queensland, we would like to welcome you to the 2020 Buddha Birthday Festival.
庆祝佛诞节浴佛法会，法会开始，鸣钟鼓。
本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，阿弥陀心经观自在菩萨心身般若波罗蜜多时早见风云皆空度一切空舍利子舍不异空空不异舍舍其实空空即是舍受想行识亦复如是舍利子是诸法空相不生不灭不垢不净不增不减是故空中不舍我受想行识无言而彼舍身以我舍身相为诸法无眼界乃至无意识界无明亦无明界乃至无老死亦无老死界无过寂灭道无死亦无得亦无所得故菩提萨埵依般若波罗蜜多故心无挂无挂碍故有空不愿逆颠倒梦想究竟涅槃三世诸佛依般若波罗蜜多故大了度若三藐三菩提故此般若波罗蜜多是大神咒是大明咒是无上咒是无等等咒能除一切空真实不虚故说般若波罗蜜多咒即说咒语揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧揭谛菩提萨婆诃。 世界
此为伟大的佛陀。我们在此地虔诚恭敬的礼拜，因为你诞生到世间来了，你一手指天，一手指地，发出天上地下，为我独尊的血缘。你脚踏七步，莲花朵朵，用清净的法水洗涤殊途尘土，从此人家有了光明，从此人家有了佛法。佛陀是伟大的佛陀，供应你将来在娑婆世界，有的地方是张灯结彩，喜气洋洋；有的地方民众巡行，锣鼓喧天。寺院举行不佛典礼，信徒全家庆祝佛诞。这是佛子们在纪念你的恩德，这是佛子们在感念你的福佑。哦，伟大的佛陀，请对你我福德切，只以思念慈母的心情，称你伟大佛陀的圣号。此为伟大的佛陀，我们愿尽行事，阐扬真理；我们愿信真理，广度有情。此为伟大的佛陀，请你接受我至诚的祈愿，请你接受我至诚的祈愿。
南无本师释迦牟尼佛。
佛宝藏
Welcome everyone to the 2020 Buddha Birthday Festival on air stream being held this year at the Chung Tian Buddhist Temple. Under the guidance of the Venerable Master Xing Yun, the founding master of the Foguangshan Buddhist Order. Over the past 23 years, we have celebrated and enjoyed Buddha's birthday in a picturesque South Bend parklands during the long weekend. At the start of the May, many thousands of the people join each year in this special tribute to the wonderful legacy that Sakyamuni Buddha has left the world. The Buddha Birthday Festival has embraced all the Brisbane's society, promoting the awesome message of the peace and harmony by following 3 good deeds, which are to think good thoughts, say good words, and do the good deeds. The festival is now an icon event of the Queensland and signature event of the Brisbane. And we appreciate the continuous support of the Brisbane City Council, the Queensland government, and all the supporters and volunteers. Today, by means of the blessing of Buddha, let us purify our minds with the heartfelt sincerity and gratitude. And at the same time, pray for peace and prosperity within our society. When we all uphold compassion, respect, and equality with the faith, and contribute with the endless blessings to a stable society and peaceful world, especially during the current COVID-19 health crisis. Early this year, Venerable Master Xing Yun shared a message that each journey in life is the path to the happiness. I wish everyone happiness and peace in the life, and take care during this current crisis. Happy Buddha Birthday! 所有我们在线上的佛光人，大家佛诞吉祥平安今年的佛诞节，我们用一样的心情在我们中天寺的圆通宝殿来举行 虽然不一样的情境，但是我们的心是一样的。23年来，我们每年的佛诞，那么都在 South Bend 举行，但是今年因为肺炎疫情的关系，没有办法。但是我们用一样的心回到了我们中天寺，我们的家。那么希望借由这样的一个佛诞佳节，我们所有的人待会都能够来一起发愿浴佛。第一个愿让我们的身心能够无障碍，少烦恼。第一愿愿我身做好事。第二个愿，希望我的人生态度能够积极向上，有一个正念的生活，正念的人生观，积极努力。第二愿，我发愿口说好话。第三愿，愿我的身心能够安详，宁静，能够清净，能够平安。所以第三愿，愿我的心能够存好心。所以待会我们的浴佛线上的浴佛，大家就用这样的心一愿身做好事，二愿口说好话，三愿心存好心。今天呢，我们的佛诞幕后有很多的工作人员我们做了 Mission Impossible，短短的2个星期的时间，我们把这个佛诞节搬上了这个网路，让大家在这样疫情的情况之下，我们一样能够用一个虔诚恭敬的心来浴佛。那么待会呢，我们在中天寺的师父们带领大家在圆通宝殿开始浴佛之后，会恭请我们的佛光山宗长心保和尚慈悲为我们昆士兰的佛光人大家开示为我们祝福让我们明白佛诞的意义，也尤其在这特殊的这个时刻让我们大家能够因为和尚的开示让我们能够明白一些道理能够身心自在平安吉祥。如同星云大师今年送给我们大家的行道天下没有因为疫情而让我们的世界变小，反而因为疫情让我们的天空，让我们的世界更加的宽广因为能够行道天下，自然而然我们所结的缘就能够福满人间那么在和尚开示之后，我们还有一系列的线上的活动包括茶禅、禅修、抄经、禅坐还有这个佛法的开示等等希望大家我们用一样的心情来庆祝今年的佛诞，借由佛诞带给我们平安吉祥祝福大家。
大家好，大家吉祥。佛诞节就是佛陀降生到人间的日子，可以说在佛教界来讲是非常殊胜的一个节日。佛陀降生在印度那么根据考据呢，就是现今的尼泊尔。佛陀来到人间，看到世间的种种苦难所以呢，发心立志要来修道。所以他在雪山之下修苦行，最后觉得苦行呢不能够就近，所以放弃苦行之后呢，观世间的缘起而悟道。也因为佛陀成道，那么开启了宇宙的光明，让人间呢可以有一个解脱的方法。也可以说在苦海里面呢找到了慈航。所以佛陀降生到人间，可以说对我们而言呢是非常非常稀有难得，也可以讲非常殊胜的。那么在《浴佛记》里面呢有讲到，我今灌木诸如来，净智庄严功德海，五浊众生离尘垢，同证如来净法身。我们就是透过浴佛的功德，同时呢也让自己的身心呢得以清净。所谓清净呢，就是让心里的烦恼能够消除。世间的烦恼，比如说贪嗔痴，乃至慢，乃至怀疑，乃至不正见，这些呢都会让我们在日常生活里面升起种种的烦恼，升起种种的障碍。所以透过佛陀的智慧观察，了知到要让我们生活自在，必须要去除心中的烦恼。所以在浴佛节的这一天，我们透过浴佛法会用这个法水来洗净我们内心的烦恼，让我们也能够跟佛陀一样，能够自在，能够解脱，能够身心清安。那么佛陀纪念馆呢，在往年都是利用佛诞节的前后呢，将佛舍利将这个佛雅呢请下来，让大家来礼拜。那么这一次也因为疫情的关系所以呢透过线上的祈福呢，让大家也能够感受到礼拜舍利的殊胜。舍利呢是佛陀经过长劫以来修行六度法门所成就的。当然这也是透过礼拜的仪式让我们能够得以透过这样的一个虔诚来感受到佛的功德，也让我们跟佛呢一起来学习学习佛的布施、持戒、 忍辱啊、精进、禅定、智慧。有了这6度的功德，也就是在我们日常生活里面人与人之间能够有这样的佛法，我们就不容易生起烦恼。也因为不生烦恼呢，我们会身心自在，身心呢会法喜，身心呢会快乐。那么这一次的疫情呢，可以说让全世界非常的恐慌，让全世界非常的不安。一直到目前为止，这个疫情呢还在继续的蔓延，有很多国家呢可以说到了很严重的地步，所以呢都不能够出门了。也就是说在生活上呢非常的不方便，甚至呢也透过疫情也会产生后续的一些影响比如说经济会萧条，甚至影响到治安，甚至呢影响到后面的粮食危机。当然呢，这个我们不希望如此，但是透过此次的疫情，我们呢也可以利用这段时间，在家里面好好的把心静下来，让我们的身心呢找到一个依靠。佛法的修行呢，是我们身心最佳的一个依靠方式。修行也可以说是我们累生累劫当中呢最吉祥的一件事情。那么透过修行，让我们身心呢可以提升，让我们呢身心呢得以更加的超越，更加的进步。所以呢确实是一件非常吉祥的事情。就如同佛陀在印度当时呢每年到了印度雨季的时候呢佛弟子也是呢在僧团里面做修行，所以也没有外出一样。所以我想这也可以说是利用这样的因缘做怎样的一个修行。所以疫情呢，我想我们也利用这个当下好好的把身心静下来。在禅门里面常说狂心顿歇，歇即菩提只要心静下来，就没有分别，就没有计较，心中呢一片安详，心中一片的自在。所以透过这样的一个修为，让我们启发我们内心本来与佛平等的佛性，这个是最好的一件事情。所以我们在家里面可以禅修可以念佛，可以看经典可以拜佛，做佛法上的种种思维。我想也可以以这样的功德来回向给这一次全球的疫情能够早日平息，能够早日呢能够消失我想这也是透过自己的修行福德因缘，让我们的社会让全世界更加的安定更加的可以跟过去一样过正常的生活，也是自己的福报，也是 全球大众的福祉，所以继续跟大家共勉平安吉祥，阿弥陀佛。
Hi, my name is Brian Kemp. I'm a member of the Buddhist community here at the Chung Tian Temple. Normally this time of the year we'll be celebrating Buddha's birthday at South Bank Parklands. But because of COVID-19 we have now come back to the temple and we are celebrating the Buddha's birthday online. I'm going to talk to you about one of the main rituals that happen at Buddha's birthday, and that is bathing of the Buddha. As you can see here, we have this table set up with the statues of the baby. We take a shower to cleanse our bodies. The symbolism behind bathing the Buddha is very similar. What we're trying to do is to cleanse our minds. I'd like now to show you exactly the procedures, what we do when we bathe the Buddha. We start the ritual by first making a half bow to the Buddha. And then we kneel down in front of the statue and we proceed to pour the water 3 times over the shoulder of the statue. The first pour is to remind ourselves to only have good thoughts. The second pour is to remind ourselves to only say good words. And the third pour is to remind ourselves to only do good deeds. Once we have finished that, we then make another half bow and stand up, and that is the end of the procedure of bathing the Buddha.
Auspicious blessing. I am Venerable Miao from Fo Guangshan Buddhist Temple, Western Australia, and I will be guiding you on basic techniques to transcribe the Heart Sutra. We will need a copy of the sutra to transcribe. You can download from our website or find a piece of paper and a pen as transcribe the sutra in English. Before we start, let's calm our mind and senses. We will begin with the meditation for a minute. You might join me in reciting the name of the Buddha. Please join your palms. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. We may begin to transcribe the sutra. When transcribing the sutra, one writes each stroke, each letter, each word, and each sentence with a heart of utmost sincerity. With full commitment of body and mind, and total concentration, one enters into a stage of mindfulness. Once you complete, we will transfer the merits. It can be for yourself, your parents, friends, and your loved ones. Please join our palms, and we will recite together. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities benefit all beings. May chant Pure Land and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our humility and gratitude give rise to great vows. Well, we come to an end of the sutra transcription. Thank you for your time. It is my privilege to have you today. I hope you can join our Mother's Day Blessing Dharma service later today and share the merits from transcribing the sutra to all mothers we love. Hope you experience the same differently.
Auspicious blessings. Welcome to Chung Tian Teaching, the oneness of tea and meditation. I'm Venerable Miaoxin from Chung Tian Temple. You would have realized these are the common items that you can find from your home. Different to the traditional tea ceremony. Before you begin, ensure that you have the following items to be ready. We will need a teapot, teacup, tea bag, and boiling water. Let's begin. First, remove the lid. Place the tea bag into the teapot. Pour hot water into the teapot. Engage your senses. Watch the color of the water changes. Relax. While we wait for the tea to brew. The important thing in this exercise is to be aware of every moment, from seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thoughts. Whenever you notice that the mind wanders away, gently return to your present moment. Now, the tea is ready. Lift the teapot and pour your tea into the cup. Hold the cup. Bring the cup to your lips. Take a sip mindfully and swallow the tea. Now let us recall when you drink the tea. Did you feel like or dislike, bitter or sweet? What is your experience? Hope you can practice the mindfulness from this tea session today. Now, let's come to the end. Thank you for your time. Hope you experience the same differently.
Hello everyone, I'm Venerable Miao Lai from the Chung Tian Buddhist Temple. Welcome to the meditation section. Meditation is the best method to train the mind to be calm, mindful, and peaceful. When the mind is calm, mindful, and peaceful, all actions are meditative. And also through mindfulness practice, you can gain both benefits. Not only the physical benefit, also psychological benefits as well. If you can do meditation, practice mindfulness every day, and then can really gain a lot health benefits. And also through mindfulness practice, you can develop very good meditation. And as I said in the beginning, when the mind is trained to be mindful, calm, and peaceful, all actions are meditative. All actions are meditative. Now you can do, in the future, you can do walking meditation. And then you can do eating meditation, driving meditation, drinking meditation. So all this mindfulness practice can apply into your daily life. Now, let's follow some simple steps that will bring you to the very present moment, the peaceful moment, the very present moment of happiness, joy, and peace. If you can cross your legs, now you can cross your legs. If you can't, you just sit, straighten your back, and relax your whole body. If you can cross your legs, now sit on the small cushion. Now cross your legs if you can, and then remove your glasses. Watches or something is really tight. Rest your hands in your laps. You can join your thumbs together. Now you can close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath. Breathe in, visualizing you are meditating on the bushland in a beautiful morning. Breathe in fresh air. Breathe out your stress. Breathe in the beautiful sunlight. Breathe out all your worries. Breathe in, visualizing, breathe in a peaceful green light. Breathe out the negative energy. Now move your attention down to your abdomen, like your tummy. Breathe in. You feel tummy is rising. Breathe out. It's falling. Now relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your nose. Relax your lips. Relax your chin. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax your palms. Relax your chest. Relax your back. Relax your hips. Relax your legs. Relax your feet. Relax your whole body and relax your mind. Relax and relaxed. Now all your attention is on your breath. Always remember we do one thing at a time and do it well. Focusing on your breathing. Okay, now rub your hands. And rub your backs. Legs. shoulders. Okay, meditation can really give you insightful and meaningful experiences, not only for the physical body, but you can gain both benefits, not only for the physical body and also for psychological health as well, and really help with to cope a lot of stress. So if you can do it every day, maybe just 15 minutes, either early morning or in the evening, and then you will really get a lot of health benefits. Aami Tawphor. Wisdom is the final goal of practicing meditation. Through mindfulness practice, you can generate your calmness, inner peace, and then wisdom.
Just make yourself comfortable. I would just like to invite you for just 30 seconds to just breathe and be present. So just breathe in and out and be present. So you might wonder, why did I do that? I was first introduced to this sort of activity in a talk for more than about 25 years ago. And in that talk, I was told that, in the middle of the presentation, we were asked to just breathe. And I was thinking, I can breathe. I don't need to come here to listen to a talk and breathe. I think what I did not understood was when you're listening to a presentation, a lot of the process that's happening is intellectual. It's an intellectual process. I would rather have a combination of practical and intellectual, because what we're experiencing now requires both. We need to have the intellectual wisdom to figure out what we need to do. We also need to have the practical application that would actually bring some outcome for us. Like for instance, I've invited you to breathe just now. Hopefully, you feel a bit more in peace comparatively. Now I actually would like to invite you to stretch. And again, this is actually fun. For me, it's fun. I'm not sure about you, because you are in your house or wherever you're listening to this. There's no one around. So I actually invite you to just gently just lift up your hands and just stretch. And take a deep, deep breath. If you want to yawn, just yawn. And release. How about we do this again? Just a deep breath in. Stretch your hands up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. We do it a third time. Okay? Breathe in. Hands stretch. Big breath in, big smile on your face, and then breathe out. Okay. After doing this, if you feel that you're sleepy, it's actually a sign of your body telling you that you're actually not sleeping enough. If you feel more rejuvenated, well done. This is what I'm trying to do in this 45-minute session, is to give you something that you can actually continue to work on, because we're stuck in this pandemic. Even though we can see light at the other side of the tunnel, I'm glad that I'm doing this videoing today, because the Australian National Cabinet just met yesterday and the Prime Minister has already laid out the pathway out, hoping that everything will go back to some form of normal in July. That is very important. It's very important for us to see that there is light at the other end, that this will pass, and then with that in mind, we can then take this as a journey, an experience. And again, not at any moment I think that this is easy. Even though my life is comparatively okay, I am impacted by the pandemic, I haven't lost my job, I'm not struggling with all sorts of responsibility because of the pandemic. But I am, or we are, aware that for some people it's very, very difficult. And for those of you who is really struggling, please, I would like to invite you to know, to put that in your mind, that this will pass. If there's anything in the teaching of Buddhism, impermanence is at the core of it. That means everything changes. Like it's 10 minutes past 1 now. So in about 45 minutes, this presentation will end. When there is a beginning, there is an end. At the beginning of the pandemic, our normal life ended. At the end of the pandemic, a new beginning of our new way of life will begin. So just try to have that in mind. Now, just now I just asked you to breathe, and then I asked you to stretch. I did not give you any other things to think about. Now I would like you to breathe with this intention of thinking that people that inspires you. Because during the pandemic, it's very easy for us to feel alone. to feel that we are the only one, to feel that the world is closing in, to feel really isolated. Because I work at Griffith University, one of my roles is the internationalization lead. And I speak to international students. I myself was an international student in 2 different countries. So can you imagine if you just arrive in a new country and then you go into social isolation like 3 months into your program? That would make you feel really, really lonely and really, really crave connection. So breathing with this thought in your mind of connecting with people who inspires you, who is actually still alive and still breathing and still venturing or still going through what we're going through now. So now just give yourself again 30 seconds. As you breathe in and out, just imagine, but it's not actually imagination, it's reality, that there is this hundreds and thousands and millions of people actually breathing with you at this very moment. And some of them are people who inspires you because of their ability to overcome their hardship and challenges. Just bring that into your mind. 30 seconds. Breathe in and out, thinking that, knowing that it is a fact, that you're actually not alone. We're in this together. I'll shut up for the 30 seconds so you can keep breathing. Okay, so I could actually sit here and just do this forever and not have to do this presentation. We can just sit here and breathe because life is so chaotic. There is so many challenges. Isn't it good just to have 30 seconds when you're thinking about something that really charges you up and be in your body and be present and not have to worry about all the things that's chaotic outside and around you? Well, we're here and we have another 42 minutes to cover the presentation, so let's get on going. I'm just wondering, is anyone leaving anything in the chat at the moment? Because I can't see anything that's being posted, so feel free to post or write anything if you want. Okay, so as I continue with the presentation, so today's presentation is about how do you apply mindfulness in a chaotic time during a pandemic. But first of all, I cannot assume that you all know what mindfulness is, so I'm going to do just a really quick explanation of what it is. Believe it or not, you've already done some of it just now. So this whole breathing in and out, being present with your body, present to your thoughts is actually the key to the practice of mindfulness. So as you can see on the slide, mindfulness is now reckoned worldwide as a very important technique to help people manage current challenges. And it's even more important when we're in the middle of a pandemic. So the definition of mindfulness, according to Jon Kabat-Zinn, is the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose. So that means you're paying attention on purpose, like just now I said breathe, okay? So you draw your attention to breathing. So that is actually some sort of way of paying attention in purpose. In the present moment, and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experiences moment to moment. That means mindfulness is being present with what's happening now with a non-judgmental thought, like you are this observer knowing what's happening. So what does this do? Well, we have to actually explain it a bit more, that in everyday life, most of the time, a lot of people, they are actually not as present. We're always racing from one place to the other, always planning, thinking. We live a lot of our life in this intellectual thinking process, but we are not really mindful or aware of what is happening in our mind. So mindfulness is a technique to allow you to do that. Why is it even more important in the time of a pandemic? Because we are all so stressed. We're all under the pump. We're all being impacted by this situation. It's very easy for us to not be aware of how we come across, not be aware of the fact that we are actually agitated without knowing it. And if you're not mindful of what's happening in your mind, it's very easy to snap. And unfortunately, with social distancing, you're actually stuck with the people that you care the most. When you're living with them in the household and not having mindfulness, that means there will be a lot of unintentional conflict. So that's the definition of John Kabat-Zinn of what mindfulness is. Here is another definition. Mindfulness is living in the now. Okay, I personally have a issue with, I'm not saying I do not agree with that, is that this is so cliche, living in the now, we all live in the now. Living in the now is hard work. Living in the now requires attention, mindful, present. Living in the now is not a slogan. Living in the now is not saying that I'm living in the now but yet still operating in autopilot. What is autopilot? We'll visit that a bit later. But living in the now means that we are actually open, non-judgmentally to all the experience, including the pandemic. So for some people, I can appreciate that you say, okay, whenever I switch on television, it's all news about COVID-19. I just want to take a break. That's fine, we can get overwhelmed, we need to take a break. But then if we want to be present in everyday's life, we have to be very mindful that are we engaging what is being thrown at us? Or are we just escaping? Because mindfulness is about being present. It's being present at the here and now with whatever that's unfolding. So living in the now, it's essentially about being more aware and awake in every moment of your life. So are we more aware? Are we awake? Why did I ask you to breathe just now? Because probably before I say that, you didn't even know that you are unconsciously breathing. And I hope when I invited you to stretch just now, I bring more sensation into your body to feel more present at this very present moment. Because that is essential for us to know exactly what is happening here. So it's about intentionally paying attention to each moment, being fully engaged in whatever that is happening around you and within you. So for me, at the moment, I'm in this amazing main shrine at Chung Tian Temple. I've never thought that I would have all this space to myself, and the amazing Buddha. I can smell the incense, and there's just all this color and decoration around me. When you're surrounded in an environment like that, it's very easy to be present because it's stimulating, it's beautiful. It's challenging when you are at home for week 8 now. So it's very important to know that mindful presence is actually a technique that you need to practice. So by doing that, it releases you in some way from whatever that you're worried and concerned about, but bring you to this present moment. For instance, we have another 35 minutes before this presentation would end. So for these 35 minutes, if you focus on what I'm talking, you can release whatever that you're worried about just for that moment and be present at the here and now and see what it does to your mind. So it involves bringing an attitude of curiosity, acceptance, friendliness to whatever that is being experienced. For instance, at this very moment, I have a few choices I could make. I can either feel terrified and horrified about talking to a camera, pretending that I actually see you, while there's actually people next to me trying to organize what's going on. Okay? Because of that, I can either choose to be really fearful or not knowing what to do, or, which is what I'm doing now, I choose to embrace this experience with curiosity, acceptance, and friendliness. Of course, you would say, hey, this is easy. You know, like you're in an amazing place. You know, the temple just fed you yummy vegetarian lunch. Of course, you can feel, you know, open and curious and acceptance and friendly. Yes, that's true. It is true. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. So this is actually what we call in education transferable skills. If you're able to do this with experience that is uplifting and joyous, that means you know how it's done. When you're hit with not so nice situation, hopefully you can draw on some of the skills that you already had. For example, this pandemic. So yes, I'm actually inviting you to look at this pandemic experience with curiosity. Okay, there's all this limitation around us. There's all these people dying around us. The world is suffering. Well, the world is actually not suffering. The world is doing quite well without our pollution. A lot of lives and beings are suffering in the world. So how can we approach this? With the sense of curiosity, it allows you to see what is going on with a curious mind and try to make the best out of it. For instance, I never thought that I'm not going to work. You know, like the longest holiday I have taken is like maybe just 5 weeks, and I've been working from home for 8 weeks now. Next week is the beginning of 9th week, the week 9. Yep. So this is being taken away from me. How do I approach it? I can either resent it, complain about it, or be curious. Okay, I don't have to drive 2 hours a day because I live in Brisbane and I work on the Gold Coast. Wow, no driving for 2 hours a day. I save petrol. Not much saving now because the oil price is so low, but I still save petrol. I save the money for the toll. I save walking to the car park. So suddenly, I was given back 2 hours of my life. So by embracing that, what can I do with that 2 hours? And when I'm approaching this situation, how can I try my best to be friendly about it? We can be angry and resentful and unhappy. And in some situation, you should feel that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because I cannot imagine how the pandemic impacted you. If it impacts you really badly, yes, you have the right to feel all those negative emotions. Having felt that, acknowledge that, is there any room for you to open up and see what next? What's happening now? How can I do this differently? So curiosity, acceptance, and friendliness to whatever that's being experienced, rather than habitual patterns of judgment and criticism. But do not judge yourself if you're judging, and do not judge yourself if you're criticizing, because, hey, that's life. Things happen. We are animal of habits. We tend to do things the way that we're used to. So if you're being judgmental, that's fine. If you're being critical, that's fine. You just need to be aware of it. You need to be mindful of it. You need to be present to it. Because there's nothing worse than having bad behavior and not having awareness about it. Once you're aware of it, we can do something about it. So being mindful is about being present, knowing what's going on, what's happening around you, and sit in that experience, allowing that openness to give you that awareness, and then, hopefully, different action will arise. Because in the past, we actually never allowed that to happen, so we go from one thing to the next, one thing to the next. Our life and our mind is always jam-packed. Our mind is full, so there's no room for wiggling. Whereas mindfulness is actually emptying your full mind and allow yourself to arrive at the present moment. And how do you do that? You do that, as you can see on the slide, through your body. Why? Because the mind is always either in the past or in the future. But your body is in the here and now. For instance, at this very moment, I just need to take a deep breath. The amazing fragrance of the incense goes through my nostril and inform my brain that, wow, this is an amazing place. So through my body sensation, I am here. That is actually very important, because when we are overwhelmed or when we're hit by things that we do not like, it's very easy for us to spiral downwards and get caught in all these negative thinkings and emotion. I'm not saying that there's no place for that, because being mindful means you have to be open and acceptance of what's happening. It's just very important to then to be able to identify that yes, something bad had happened, but our continuous ruminating is our own action. Whatever that's happened is already happened. If you're able to use your physical body to bring you to the present moment, then you realize that there is this space that you can create for you to decide what to do. Like for instance, again, at this very present moment, I can do two options. One is I would think that, what am I doing staring at the camera talking as if that someone is listening on the other side? Or I could embrace this experience and say, yes, maybe that's someone over there. If there's no one there, I'm still having a great time. So whatever happens to you at every moment, there is always multiple choice of what you want to do or what you can do. And while you're faced with those multiple choice, it's very, very important to be mindful so that you can open up that space for you to make those decisions. So that's where we enter into the metaphor of the empty room. Unfortunately, our mind's room is never empty. So the empty room metaphor means that at least by being mindful, as if that we're opening up this room, we know what is coming in, we know what is going out. Most of the time, we're not in control of our own mind's room. We have no idea what's going on. We just allow things to randomly trigger us. We react to things and we're so busy. We go from reaction to reaction to reaction to reaction. The mind's room is totally chaotic. So what mindfulness does is, it gives you a technique like, for instance, the breathing that we just did. If you just focus and anchor yourself in the breath, suddenly you're aware of how crowded your room is. If you do that long enough, it starts to open up this space where you can actually start to experience that, okay, I am feeling really pissed off now. Or I'm feeling really angry now. Or I'm describing all this negative experience. I'm feeling whatever negative experience that is now. It gives you the opportunity to then ask, what happened? Well, because that person said something and I didn't like it. Well, why allow that to impact you? Why allow something that happened to then result in your emotions spiraling down? If you're able to step back and allow your mind space to open, you can see that, oh, someone did something, I'm having that reaction. Remember the definition we talked about just now? Non-judgmental and openness. So you do not fuse yourself with whatever that emotion is. You acknowledge a thought as a thought. Oh, I had a thought of piss-offness because of someone saying something. Back to my breath. Back to my stretching. Back to whatever that I'm doing in my body. Then another thought might come in. Oh, that's another thought now because of something that's happening. I'm open to it, non-judgmental, just allow it to be there. So by doing that, gradually, you open your mind up and you have the space, more inner space, to deal with all the chaotic things that's happening in your life. It's especially important when you're in a pandemic because we are all very, very stressed. Don't get fooled. I look happy, but I am very stressed. The good news is I am aware of how stressed I am. It's only bad news if you're not aware of it and continue to go on in life thinking that everything is hunky-dory, which it's not. So, the empty room is the metaphor. The reality is, this is more like what our room is. But it's not a problem. You can have a lot of things in your room as long as you're not allowing them to dictate how you feel and how you behave. It's not possible to suddenly have your mind totally clear. It's good to at least have an awareness and then go from there. So how do you apply this in the pandemic? Well, I guess the important thing is what I've been repeatedly saying, to be aware that we are, well, if you're not stressed, good on you. Maybe you should, don't have to continue watching this presentation and do something else, bake a cake, do something. For those of us who are stressed, mindfully aware of it allows us to know that I have an option to continue feeling stressed about something that I have no control of, and also have an option to actually do something else. And for the past 8 weeks, honestly, I have been given those challenges very so often, that there are things happening that I can't control, that emotionally I might feel being impacted on, but there's always this option that I can choose to be present and to continue doing things that I'm in control of, and hopefully making a difference at the end. So, there is actually research behind mindfulness, but we have only another 23 minutes, so I will flick to this very quickly. So there's research behind it, it shows that it works and it's helpful. What I want to touch on now is something that I'm quite passionate about. It's called challenging your default mood. For instance, if you do something repeatedly again and again and again every day, it's very easy for you to go into default mood. And that's where we get trapped. That means we're not living at the present moment. Like at this moment, it's very hard for me to go into default mood because everything is so new. I'm in a place that I'm not normally familiar with. All this stimulation is waking me up. But for a lot of us, what we do every day, especially now we're stuck in the house, can be repetitive, and you enter into this mindless process. That is where you really need mindfulness. Because when you're in default mood, you're actually less passionate, less engaged, less present, less happy, easily triggered. Okay, not really a good place to be in. You want to be in an active present place. So, the default mood is because you're not paying attention. Like for instance, sometimes you don't even know how you made your way from the bedroom to the bathroom. Yep, it just sort of like happened because you're not paying attention. So that is when you're in default mood. It's a type of attention characterized by mental chatter, mind wandering, operating in an autopilot. Try not to do that, okay? So because then you tend to worry about the past or the future and judging and criticizing all these things that we normally do when we're not actively being present. There's the part of the brain that's being activated to result in that, the temporal and parietal lobes and the hippocampus and a certain part of your prefrontal areas. And also your fear center is more active when you are in default mood, which is what I'm saying, that you tend more to get to be triggered. So in a pandemic, you would want to try to not stay in this stage for too long because you're already stressed. And imagine if you're easily triggered, then there will be all this friction happening within and around you. So the activation pattern tends to result in experiencing the world through thoughts and ideas, instead of directly being present. This is the other point that I'm trying to get through over here. How can we engage life at this very present moment, but not through thoughts and idea? That's what I did at the beginning of my presentation. I invited you to breathe. I invited you to stretch, because I want to get you out of your thinking mind. Yes, there is a lot of good in intellectual thinking, but there is a lot of lacking in physical movement and engagement too. You literally can't really think your way out of things. You need to act and get out of it. So you might get an idea, but sometimes when you're stuck in a certain emotion, body movement is actually very important. I see that really happening in Australia during this pandemic era. I never knew that there's so many people that's into exercise. A new habit that I have now is I get up actually at 5:45, if I can, most of the mornings, and to do some exercise while the sun is coming out. And I'm surprised at that hour of the day, there's actually a lot of people on the footpath doing the exercise. So that is important. Exercise is one of the ways to get you out of the default mood. Of course, you can still do exercise in default mode by not paying attention, but please, if you are given the opportunity to exercise, be present. Be present to the morning air. Be present to the change of the scenery as the sun comes out. Be present to all this external bodily stimulation. If you recall one of the slides that I had earlier, your body is the key for you to live in the here and now. And by doing that, you're able to pull yourself away from default mood and be in this present moment. Okay, so as you can see, default mood is also associated with reduced cognitive functioning, therefore impaired academic and occupational functioning. It's just not fully engaging in living life. Okay, so how then can we be present? I suppose by now you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, I would have not been very productive for the past 37 minutes. So you would want to use your senses, body senses, either through movement or breathing to bring you to the here and now. It activates different parts of your brain. So you are then able to experience things directly with the here and now. When you experience things directly, you have this awareness knowing that everything will pass. Nothing stays forever. Same as this presentation. Like I said, I started 38 minutes ago. We'll finish in 55 minutes. So that means I have like, how many minutes am I left with? Now 17 minutes. Okay? So just by using your body and your senses, you're able to be at the here and now. And it's easy to do that when you're exercising, listening to music, being in nature. The real challenge is how can you be mindful when you're not stimulated in that way? That is why you need to practice. The best way to gain your mindful presence is through breath, because breathing is free, portable, you have it until you die. So every now and then, when you have that awareness, bring this deep breath into yourself. It doesn't cost you anything to stretch. Just stretch up, down, stand up, have a walk, stretch your legs, go and make a cup of drink, stand at the window, look outside, be present to the nature that's outside. Be present to the breeze that's blowing on your face. Create that inner peace in you, because yes, we live in a very chaotic present. So much happening, so much suffering, so much challenges. It makes it even more important for us to be able to be present and create that inner stability, because your inner stability is what that will sustain you. So, this is Buddha's birthday. Instead of just talking about mindfulness, I have to talk about the big boss, Buddha, because Buddha is the master of mindfulness. When Buddha first got enlightened, his realization is everybody has that ability to see the reality. That's the first thing that he said when he got enlightened. He said, wow, all beings in this world have Buddha nature. They have that ability to see the reality. So if you have heard of this before, congratulations. If this is the first time that you've heard about this, congratulations. Yes, we all have that ability to be the master of our inner world. So if you hear me correctly, the master of our inner world. I didn't promise you the external world, because the external world is controlled by so many moving factors. We can't control the pandemic. We can only do what we can to be part of the country, which we are really successful in Australia, to flatten the curve. So you can be the master of your inner world. You just need to practice. You just need to know the ways to do that. Of course, in Buddha's teaching, there's all these other things that's very useful. Buddha talked about impermanence. So impermanence, when in a normal everyday life, people can be a bit fearful about it, thinking that, I want things to go on forever. We're supposed to be together forever. Good things should not change. Unfortunately, that's not the deal. We live in a world, our reality is impermanence. And this pandemic is a really good example of that. How everyday life that we lived in, we see that as being normal. We are so used to it, we actually think that it's solid and unchangeable. Unfortunately, that's not true. And COVID-19 did that, woke us up collectively. So what are you going to do with that? That you're now being waken up. It's time to practice mindfulness. It's time to be present. It's time to apply simple skills like just breathing. The other thing that I might touch on very quickly, loving kindness meditation. When you're doing mindful breathing, bring into your mind's eyes the people that you love and deliver that loving thoughts to them. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so you can give yourself a treat. Do a loving kindness meditation on Mother's Day today. Think about the love that you received. For those of you who doesn't know who your mother is or circumstances that resulted in that you cannot relate to that, in your breathing in and out, think of people that have showed you kindness and love and compassion. And when you're doing that, allow yourself to have that loving kindness going towards that person. And you gradually broaden that visualization from an individual, like starting with your mother or someone that you love dearly, to other people that you care about, to people that you know, to all these other beings, and including the people who gave you a hard time, because yes, people can do horrible things. They have their own struggle. I'm not saying that you forgive them. I'm saying that you be present to them and if possible offer them loving kindness thoughts. Then you spread it out to all the beings in this world. It's a process that you can do in 3 to 5 minutes. And if you're able to practice it constantly, at the end of that 3, 5, 10, 15 minutes, you're able to end up in this state of mind, being reminded of how loved and supported you are. It's something that is going to have great benefit if you're able to practice that constantly. So now, I've got 1 more minute before we enter into Q&A. I'm not sure if anyone asked any question. Can anyone help me? Is there any question in the live stream that has came up? So we've got 10 minutes to do that. I appreciate your questions. Oh, people are actually, yes. Okay, so this question is not that much about mindfulness and pandemic. It's more about death and dying. So it's actually asking the importance of having religious belief. He said, the question here is, do we need to believe in something before we die? If we do not believe in something, what happens to our soul or our spirit, or in Buddhism, our consciousness after we passed away? Well, it's a very interesting question, because as if that if you believe in something, then it becomes true. If you do not, then it doesn't. So I guess it's really up to each individual whether you need to believe in something or not. When it comes to belief system, it's something very personal. Like, I am a Buddhist. I was born a Buddhist. When I grew up, I started to read more Buddhist texts. I apply Buddha's teaching in my everyday life and find that very, very useful. And hence, I believe in Buddhism. But that doesn't mean that you need to have a belief system. You just need whatever you need to live life. If you live life not thinking that religion is of any relevance to you, then you do not have to have that. Then the question comes, then what happens after I die? Well, I can't answer that. You would have to find that answer yourself. What do you mean that I can't answer that? Of course, I have my view on what life after death is. Well, being a Buddhist, I believe in life after death, but that is my belief system. So if you're concerned about what happens after you die, you will need to seek out that answer. And if that doesn't bother you, that you just live life, if you die, that's the end of everything. If that's what you subscribe to, that's fine too. Because we are only responsible to ourselves in how we think about life and how we live life. Is it important to have religious ceremony for people who passed away? This is actually similar to that first question. I would say that it's only important if it's relevant to the person who died. And it's also relevant to the people who is alive, whatever they do, if they feel that that is going to help the other person. But this only exists if you do believe that there is life after death. So again, we're back to the first point that it's up to you to decide what you want to believe in. In my belief system, yes, there is life after death. Yes, we have ritual, which I personally think that is a really good thing to facilitate people through stages so that they're able to process their emotion. But that is my decision, and that is what we practice. And for you, you actually have to figure out your own way. Okay, so next question. Would you like to discuss a little about coping with persistent triggers of distress, like a narcissistic abuser? Well, thank you very much for sharing that. And I'm really, it's not even the right way to say that it's a really good question, because obviously someone is being abused in this process. And we are aware that domestic violence is an issue already in Australia and around the world. With social distancing, it just became even more pressing because you're stuck in the household with people that you do not get along or you might not want to be with 24/7. So how do you cope with that? I think it's a very complicated situation, because do you need to cope with it? Is coping your only option? Is it actually time for people to seek help and to leave the abusive situation? So I guess the first point is for you to reach out and to have discussion with people that you feel comfortable with about the situation that you're in. Because our default response would say, I want to cope with it, but I'm not even sure if that is the best thing to do to start with. I'm not saying that we should run away from, should leave all relationship. I'm just saying that you need to be very present to whatever you do, whatever you decide of what is going on. So if it's not like a life and death or endangering situation, it's someone that you love, but because they are narcissistic and they triggers you, well, the first question I would ask is, why are you with someone that's narcissistic? Are they really narcissistic, or is that your projection? So there's multiple questions that you need to actually think about. Why are you still there? What are the things that are holding you there? And by reminding yourself the reason why you're there, hopefully that helps you to open up conversation with that individual. Having a conversation with someone that's narcissistic is very difficult because they can only see themselves and no one else. So it requires some effort on both parties. So the other person needs to be aware that you are actually struggling. So yes, so the first step is you need to make them aware that whatever they're doing is impacting you. Of course, you are the master of your internal world. It's your choice to react or not. But having said that, we're all human. I think it's fair to just let people know that they're making you feeling uncomfortable and see how the conversation goes. All in all, if you do not feel safe, you need to seek help. That is very, very important. Okay, so this is now turned into a message of family violence. If you're aware of anyone that's being abused or is in an abusive relationship or is being impacted by it, please reach out to support them. If you are suffering that, please reach out for help. There is resources out there. There is people out there who specialize in that. So we are going through a lot. People are very stressed. Because people are stressed, they tend to be very reactive. So if you feel that you're not safe, please, you have to protect yourself. Okay, so while it may not be possible to acknowledge anger, it's difficult to distance ourselves from it. Would then be a possible approach be to avoid contact as means to keep present. So there is multiple things that you can do when you are stuck with someone that's unpleasant. So I've touched on part of it. First of all, you think about whatever that they're doing that's triggering you, how much of this is your reaction and your projection. So like for instance, if you grew up in a household where cleanliness is very important, so you're angry with people that's not clean. If you're able to take a step back, not being clean is actually not the end of the world. And you can work out now that I'm not really a clean person. But that is just a really quick example of letting you know that sometimes when we're not happy with someone, we play a part in that too. But there are situations where the other person is the abuser or the other person contributes to most of the conflict and the unhappy emotion, then it goes down to what I'm talking about, to have that conversation, to be open to the fact that you are actually being impacted by it and you would like to work something out, you would need their help and support to work something out. So now, because you're not in front of me, you might be by saying that, well, it's easy for you to say that, they don't listen, they do not interact. Then it comes back again down to the question of why are you still staying in this relationship or this situation? And so, well, I don't have a choice. Do you really not have a choice? Is it immediately not having a choice or forever not having a choice? Those are the questions that you need to think about. And meanwhile, get more support, talk to people, get someone to just, talk through the things and the struggle that you're in. I can't stress enough, like I said, I've been an international student in 2 different countries. Australia is in a really good position. There is a lot of services and resources out there. Please do not hesitate to reach out. And I've just been queued. We've got 1 minute left. So thank you very much for that 59 people that I can see on my phone that stuck with us. I'm not sure if that, at least it went from 50 to 59, so it's really good for my ego. The message of Buddha's birthday is, in this period, Buddha was born 2,000 over years ago. He told us that we all have this ability to be the master of our inner world. So in Buddha's birthday, we bathe the Buddha. It's an action to actually also clean ourselves internally. So hopefully for the past 54 minutes, something might have crossed your mind, you find it helpful, or you've wasted 54 minutes, then apologies. I just hope that we have that awareness as how I started my presentation. We are all in a storm. We're not on the same boat. If you happen to be on a bigger boat, please be empathic and be kind to each other. If you are really impacted, please reach out and get help. And all in all, I thank you for your attention, and may all be well, may all be well, may all be well. Take care and thank you.
2020年，中天市为母亲节献灯祈福法会。法会程序：南无香云盖菩萨摩诃萨三称，之后三称南无本师释迦牟尼佛，心经一遍，为母亲药师灌顶真言7遍。之后恭读星云大师为母亲祈愿文，之后回向
以上是我们待会法会的流程，请大众佛前问讯之后，请合掌。
萨
恭读佛光山开山宗长星云大师为母亲节祈愿文。慈悲伟大的佛陀，今日新逢母亲节，请您接受弟子们为父母的祈愿。慈悲伟大的佛陀，我的父母年长了，他们为了家庭，为了子女，数十年来的付出，却从未要求回报。今日我要把孝心奉献给我的父母，请求佛陀您的正蒙加持。我愿以我的生命，我愿以我所有的一切献给我的父母，让他们健康长寿，让他们欢喜自在。慈悲伟大的佛陀，我要在您的座前向我的父母告白我的心情。我最敬爱的父母啊，是您们的血乳赐给我色身，是你们的爱心孕育了我成长，是你们的辛劳换来我所有，是你们的鼓励陪伴了我一生。我最敬爱的父母啊，请原谅我当初的无知任性，带给您们伤心痛苦。请原谅我当初的蛮横叛逆，带给您们牵挂失望。我最敬爱的父母啊，感谢您们的爱心与忍耐，让我今日才懂得感恩回馈。感谢您们的呵护与宽谅，让我今日才懂得慈悲柔和。感谢您们的包容与教导，让我今日才懂得明理守分。感谢您们的尊重与体贴，让我今日才懂得圆融平等。慈悲伟大的佛陀，父母之恩天高地厚，要祈求您佛陀加持我的父母，远离老病的恐惧，远离灾难的遭遇，远离人世的烦恼，远离怨家的陷害。更祈求伟大的佛陀，您慈悲加倍，让我有力量为人间奉献，让我有真诚为大众服务。我只想以此于诚，回向给我的父母，能够护持三宝，亲近善友，能够深入佛法，受人爱戴，能够业障消除，身心和乐，能够福慧增上，吉祥安康。佛陀，容我再一次地祝福我的父母，愿在您的佛光加倍之下，无量寿无量福。慈悲伟大的佛陀，请您接受我虔诚的祈愿。慈悲伟大的佛陀，请您接受我虔诚的祈愿。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。 welcome to all the moms and families who are taking part in our 2020 Buddha Birthday Festival, Mother's Day Blessing Dharma Service. Today, it is fitting that we celebrate Mother's Day as part of our Buddha Birthday celebration, as Venerable Master Xing Yun reminds us how precious our mothers are. Our moms are there for our first breath, providing kindness and love through our journey in life. Moms educate us, teaching us to be good and considerate of others. Our moms support and protect us, providing nourishment with the food and love. Moms show us compassion and share their joy and happiness. Our lives are enriched by the care our mothers provide and are always there to support us. On this Mother's Day, we pray for the Buddha's blessing and guidance for all our mothers, and that they remain healthy and well during this current healthy crisis. We pray that mothers are not alone and can enjoy the company of their family, and that each mother has happiness and peace in her life. I hope to welcome everyone back soon to the Chung Tian Temple when restrictions are relaxed. And may everyone have a happy Buddha's birthday and a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms. 阿弥陀佛。祝福全天下的母亲，在即将到来的母亲节，大家都能够身体健康，一切平安吉祥。尤其在这一个特殊的节日里面，现在整个世界在这一段时间面临了一个很大的一个挑战跟改变。那么我们希望所有全天下的母亲都能够身体健康，如同我们今日庆祝佛诞节，洗浴，借由洗浴太子的身心，我们也沐浴我们自己的身和心，身愿健康，做好事，那么口愿说好话，都是光明的，都是积极的。那么心能够宁静祥和，那么今年呢非常的特别，我们回到了中天寺，庆祝佛诞节以及母亲节，不一样的地方。过去往年我们都在 South Bend， 不一样的地方，但是呢我们用一样的心情，一样的感受来体验。尤其我们昆山协会在会长以及各位督导们的带领之下，我们所有的会员虽然是在家里没有办法来到寺院，但是我们今天一天的佛诞，从早上10点半的这个正式的典礼到我们宝和尚慈悲为我们开示祝福以及加持，还有我们的谈讲师Ari 也给予我们一些的鼓励跟方向，如何面对这个疫情，还有在当中的4个活动都对我们身心灵有很大的帮助，抄经也好，禅坐也好，太极也好，茶禅，那么到现在我们的这个母亲节的献灯祈福法会 借由这个法会，我们祝愿所有参与这一次法会的这个成就这个线上浴佛节的所有的义工大众能够平安吉祥。感谢你们的努力付出。那么我们也感谢所有从早上到现在一直在线上跟随着佛陀的智慧跟慈光跟随着今天整天在线上的这个法会活动到现在马上我们即将要画上一个圆满的一个句号了那么我们期待这个疫情能够尽快的过去，那么大家能够在线下能够见面，大家能够再次的回到我们中天寺来一起到佛前来一起共修那么我们也期待明年的佛诞，那么这些疫情已经过去，那么明年的佛诞又是一个新的开始所以谨借这样的机会，感谢所有的工作人员，还有感谢所有的佛光人，感谢你们的努力，促成这样的因缘。祝福大家行到天下，福满人间。
Thank you for joining the 2020 Buddha birthday celebrations on air. On behalf of the organizers, Foguangshan Chung Tian Buddhist Temple, Buddha's Light International Association of Queensland, and the Chung Tian Chinese School, we wish to acknowledge and thank our sponsors and supporters who have played a major role in helping the Buddha Birthday Festival since 1997. We thank Abbots Man Wang and the Venerables of Chung Tian Temple for their guidance and making the temple available today for the streaming. Special thanks to the festival director Judy Lin and her team of volunteers. It is a challenging year, and we thank you all for making a virtual Buddha birthday celebration possible. Our sincerest appreciation also to our sponsors, including Brisbane City Council, Multicultural Affairs Queensland, YFG Shopping Centres. This year, Venerable Master Xingyun, founder of the Foguangshan Buddhist Order, shared a message to all that every journey in this world is a path to happiness. Until we meet again to celebrate 2021 Buddha Birthday Festival, please stay safe and may each of you, your family and friends be blessed by Buddha's compassion and have peace and harmony in your life. To all the moms, Happy Mother's Day, and may everyone have a happy Buddha birthday. 阿弥陀佛。